Hello, hello, my beautiful people. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Goretti, and I am the counselor and transformational coach at Butterfly Project. So today's topic is actually in regards to your childhood, and I do have a question for you first. Do you remember your childhood? And specifically, I'm actually referring to the first 6 to 10 years of your life. Do you remember anything from that? If your answer is no, I don't really remember much of my childhood, I don't remember anything of my childhood, I have very few memories of those years, or I have some memories, but they're really sporadic and blotchy, anything like that, based on that answer, there's something significant I can tell you about your childhood. Now, first I'll say that everybody that comes to me for, counseling, the first session I do with everybody, no matter what you come to see me for, is a full history. And I go into your childhood because this is the most important piece to help with anything that you might be struggling with, regardless of what it is. The key or the answer, the root cause, is in those first 6 to 10 years. Now, whenever somebody answers the way that, you might have answered that you don't remember, this tells me that there is something or multiple things that happened in your childhood that was traumatic for you. Okay, so there's some sort of trauma there. Now, that word can be taken to an extreme. I'm not just talking about major traumas. There also can be small little things. If you think, of a child and looking at the world through the eyes of a child, sometimes even a small thing, maybe a parent was really busy and kind of, maybe you really were trying to get your parents' attention and they got really upset and kind of just, sorry guys, if that cut out, it was just my alarm. So a parent might have gotten upset with you or something and kind of, spoke a little bit more short with you. To a child, that might be a huge event to that child, depending on how they are or what life has been like. They might think, something's wrong with me. My parent doesn't love me. I did something wrong, right? It can really affect their self-esteem. That can be a trauma experience. So when I'm talking about traumas, I'm talking even about the little things like that. And sometimes it's many of those little things and it's actually not even a big thing. But of course it can be large traumas, things like feeling, getting abandoned by one of your parents, or maybe it's, being abused or neglected, fully, things like that. Of course, those things are going to be major traumas, but it can be little things too. And because through the eyes of a child, like I said, the world looks very different. To an adult, we think it's insignificant, but it can mean a lot to a child. So when we're looking at, your childhood like that, if you've had really good memories, or if you have a lot of memories from your childhood, what that says is most likely you had a very secure environment, seeing healthy parents, relationships, you had good relationships with your parents. And then there's people that have a mix of both, okay? And that can happen too. And usually that's because there were those little, kind of traumas, but there was also a lot of good things in your upbringing too. People that have a really good, healthy, secure environment, people and relationships in their first 6 to 10 years will tend to remember a lot of their childhood. So when I'm working with clients, especially clients that have children, a lot of times people can feel really guilty and feel, really bad and beat themselves up saying, oh my goodness, I ruined my kids. I feel really bad because, things were bad in those first years. I want to say something, to that. If that is you, forgive yourself. Because you did the best that you could with what you had, the knowledge you had, at that time. Just like our parents, this is not to condemn anybody, okay? Our parents did the best they could with what they had and what they knew, which they actually knew a lot less in those generations than we do, because we have access to all this information now through, the internet and things like that. But our parents did the best that they could with what they had. based also on their childhood programming, their first 6 to 10 years. So this is why I work with all my clients with the subconscious mind. Okay, you guys have probably heard me talk about this in my other videos, but the subconscious mind, that's what runs the show. That's the memory bank. That's where those first 6 to 10 years of your life is. That is what programs us for the rest of our lives, because 95% of our life is actually being run by our subconscious mind. So we're not even aware of it. Only 5% is what we're aware of, which is very little. So really, it is your childhood that is running your life until you become aware of what's in there. And that's what's called subconscious mind reprogramming, where we go in, we figure out what's in the subconscious, and now we can actually shift, change, and reprogram that so you can change your life. Okay, so this is why childhood is so important, the first 6 to 10 years especially, because that's where we get programmed. Okay, so that's why I call it our childhood programming. This is what is embedded into our subconscious mind, but it can be changed. Okay, and this is what I work on with all of my clients. So if you would like help with that, my information is always in the description box below. But I wanted to say, if you are a parent and you have children, because this has come up in sessions, with clients over the last few weeks, but if you're a parent, and I've even experienced this with my children, especially my little guy, because I'm very aware now, and now I have all this information, and so I'm really kind of paying attention to that. And it's so interesting because he has so many memories, things from when he was like 1 year old and 2 years old. Like I'm blown away that he can remember these things. But it just goes to show that he's had this stability and things have been good, and clearly I've done a good job. But my older two weren't quite like that. And so I just want you to know, if your children have some good memories of their childhood, just know that you've done a good job. And even if they don't, understand that there's still hope. They can still change it. It's with reprogramming that subconscious mind. So if you do have adult children, you can always share videos of mine like this. They can get help to be able to reprogram it. And if it's you can still change and reprogram. It doesn't matter what age you are. Our minds are malleable. Okay, it's kind of like clay. Our minds can shift and change. Yes, when we're younger, it's easier, to kind of mold it, okay, and to shift and change it. But it's still malleable no matter what age you are. So yes, an old dog can learn new tricks. And so you can make these changes. I assure you, you can. I have helped many clients up until the age of, 80 years old. So trust me. And even after 80, there was one client I think was getting close to 90. So there's always time for us to improve. So I want to encourage you that if you don't have memories from your childhood, and so that definitely there were things in your childhood that happened, we don't need to go in there and dig those all up and unpack those. I don't actually do that with my clients because it's not really helpful. Just all we need to know is there was stuff there, and then to find out what are the beliefs that are in there based on what you experienced. And we know what's in the subconscious mind based on your self-talk, based on the beliefs that you have. That's how we know. So we don't need to go and dig up those old memories or old wounds or anything like that, but we just need to know what is the program that's in there, and then we can work on changing it. Okay, so if you don't have many memories, that is why, because there's some sort of trauma that happened. And if you have children and you kind of want to understand this better, this also applies for them. And if they have good memories, just know, or have memories of their childhood, then they, had a good childhood, regardless of you think that you mess things up. Because, I know parents are really hard on themselves in regards to that. And yeah, so that's kind of what I wanted to share with you all today. Again, subconscious mind reprogramming is something that I'm super passionate about and trying to help as many people as I possibly can. So don't forget to do all the things like this video, comment down below. I love hearing from you guys and responding. Share my video and my channel with others that you think it might be helpful for. And if you're new here, welcome. I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and be part of this ever-growing butterfly community. And don't forget to hit the bell icon so you get notified of new videos. And you guys, when you do any number of these things or all of these things, it truly is the best way to support me, to help my channel to grow, and to get my messages out there to help as many people, like I said, as I possibly can, because most people are not aware of these things. And unfortunately, a lot of people are going through therapy, and it's a lot of traditional old school therapy that isn't really, serving people very much. I'm all about solutions and very much solution focused, which I've already done a video, I think, about that, and I'll post that up here. But this is something I'm super passionate about, and I believe that everybody, even people with really good childhoods, still need some type of subconscious mind reprogramming, because no parent is perfect and no childhood is perfect. Guaranteed the environment wasn't perfect. There's always stuff, like I said, even just those little things to a child can be a really big thing and actually feel like a trauma, even though it might not be that for an adult. All right, my loves, so I really hope that this was helpful for you guys. Also, I am going to post this around Christmas time. If you do celebrate, Merry Christmas. If you don't, happy holidays if you celebrate, or just I hope that you really enjoy this time towards the end of the year, the festive time. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say to you all, and I wish you all peace, love, and light. Until next time, bye bye.